Alright, I'm Loren Damewood. I'm going to show you a couple of knots today. Actually the same knot twice. I'm going to tie it on this form, and I'm also going to tie it in hand. You won't really need to listen to me talking. You can turn the sound off if you don't want to hear it. I have captions and illustrations. I'll go fast when I'm just repeating things. Notice I went around once, I went around again over it, and now on the third pass I'm going under. I always make it easier. Go over everything first. So we're going under the last strand. Go ahead and go a little faster again. Over and under. Over and under. You can see that the ink actually shows what goes where. Over and under. Follow the line. Now the interesting thing about this is on this third pass, you can see that it's actually a 3-lead braid already. Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. Get more interesting stuff. Over and under. Always under the last one. Over and under. Now let's try it in hand. You can see the same knot. Around and around again. The second one goes over stuff. It's going to go over. The running part is going to go over and under. Try to keep it even there. Over and under. Always goes under the same one. Under on that side going that way. Try to go under the correct one, under the same one, going that way, back. Every time it goes to the right, it's actually coming out at the same hole that the original one is going through. Over and under. I think we need one more zigzag here. Over and under. And over and under. This is actually a 3-lead Turk's head with 7 loops. 7 bites around the edge. Now, we had gotten to that point on the form. So, came out from under there, over there, under that. Over the next one. Under, over, under the last one. Always under the last one. So, this is actually right next to a blank space, which is right next to the original strand. Let's go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. Let's see, same thing. Under, over, under. Always under the last one. We're coming back past number 1 again. Notice we're over 2 in a row. We're still going under the last one. Stuck that through there. You can see where it's going. Now we're going to go under, over 2. Remember we picked up number 1, first strand. Going through the same path, over 2, under the last one, under, over 2, under the last one, under, over 2, under the last one. Okay, we're coming back around. And it's going to get interesting again. So it's going to go down that line between those, see? Let's go back to the in hand. Remember, we've got our 3 lead with 7 loops, and we're going to follow the original strand, that one. We're just going to stay next to it the whole time. I always stay on the same side. I go in to the right, next to the first strand. Pull it through there. As long as you stay to the right of it, it's easy to keep track of where you are. I think we need to hurry up a little bit here. We don't want this video to be too long. Now, we're crossing the start. You see you got 2 of them doubled now. When you got 2 crossing 2, it can be important, but right now, the place where the 2 are crossing, there's only 1 loose end. Actually, no loose ends. They're in the middle. So, let's keep going. So, to the right, over, under, following the same strand. To the left, over, under, staying on the right, following the same strand. And now we're coming up to this last tuck. Notice we're going under both of those. So we do have 2 crossing 2 here. The original strand and the first double and the first double that are crossing it. This is an inflection point. It's very important. I'm going to pull this one back out because we're going down the line. Let's go back to the cylinder. I just pulled that end out on the in-hand one. Now it's going to go down that line. And you notice, according to the blue ink there, it's going to go under that first line. Under and over that one, under the one that's not there, over that one, under the last one. Now you didn't see me go under one when I was doing it in hand, right? I just went, see there are the 2 pairs. I just took it back and I'm going to go through that hole right there. I have to go over those 2 to get to it. But where did that under come from that I did with the diagram? Well, it makes sense once you've looked at it a few times. When I do it on the cylinder, I flip those lines just by their position. The way the knot works, if you extend the other one back, that's actually going over it. So, the pair that's going to the left, they actually have to be flipped. And when I do it on the diagram, they are flipped. But when I do it in hand, I leave them parallel until it's time. Now, I'm going to go over, under, over those 2, and under. You can see it with the red strand. So, on the diagram, they're flipped as they go because they are in their ending position. When I do it in hand, I put them in afterwards. So, here we are, under, over both of those, under the last one. Now we're going to keep going. Under. Came out under there, so it's going to go over that one. Under the one there. And it's going to go over that pair. They're not adjacent neighbors, they're neighbors that have one between. So over those two, under the last one, remember, always under the last one. Now it's going to go a little faster. Over, under, over both, under the last one. Over, under. That looks a little funky there. I just have to move the line around. The line shifts, it looks strange. Now, we're coming up to the origin again. Every time we pass it, we pick up number 1. We do something with number 1 because it's always there. There. You notice that's the only place where we're missing one here. You follow it through, it's not missing anymore because there's that number 1 end sitting in there. So, it goes over and under. Getting a little trickier with less room. So over, under, picking up number 1. And over, under, over. Yes, I think we missed one there. We can fix that. We just take it under that last one, always under the last one. Now you notice there's full basket weave, every line covered. So let's carry on. You see that line we're going down. Step, 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 step down that little ladder. Stepping through that one. Pull it through. And so on. It's all the same, so there's no sense doing it slowly. Here's the last one. We're going over, under. Over, under. Now when I'm doing a doubled one, I usually have enough line to go through twice if I measured it properly. And I'd take it right down the line with the first one. We're going to go ahead and tuck through, because that way you'll see where it starts to double. Right next to the first one. Right down the line. And you can see basket weave is complete. The lines meet each other. Let's finish with the other one now. Remember, I was pulling that through, and you can see you're going over, under, over two, under the last one, always under the last one. Now, I have to flip the line back, but it was already in the right position. Remember, it was on the right. I leave it on the right. So we're going to go over, under, keeping track of which one it is. Isn't that hard once you've seen it a few times? Over, under, over the pair, under, slip it on through. Now we flip those lines. See, the left one goes over the right. Has to go that way because you're going out from under something and over something. Under, over two, under. Now let's go ahead and skip along. You can always go back and look at that slow part again and see what's happening. They're all the same. Over, under. We're picking up number one. So there's number one, the loose end. See it? We finally picked up that number one right there. So now we only have one doubled path. We're going to split it. We're just going to go right down the middle. over, under, over, under, over, under, pull it on through. Doesn't look very tidy, does it? The form makes it easier. I roll it in my hands like that to loosen the tight places and tighten the loose places. Flip the lines. Now let's go ahead and skip on through there. Flip the lines back, pull it through there. Flip the lines again, pull it through there. Now, this is the last tuck. Well, almost the last tuck. We've gotten back to the beginning. There's that first end. What we're going to do is we're going to just take it right down the same path. This is how you'd start doubling it if you were going to double it. Pull that through. And now you see this is just like the other one. Not as even. That's one of the advantages of doing it on the form. Everything comes out much more even that way. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.